Can you hear me now? Is it loud and clear, Eileen? Can you hear it? Because it's loud in my ears. Okay. But Lena, can you hear me? I can't hear Lena. Whew. All right, all right, all right. So okay, I'm not gonna mess with it. Lena, I think you need to come back in as a producer.
Testing. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, there, I can hear you now. Okay.
Okay, and then Lena, you can hear me too, right?
Yes, I can hear you
Okay,
now.
all right. So Lena, you're currently on as a guest. You're gonna have to sign in as a producer.
I I used that last link that you emailed.
So I think
Darn. Yeah. Oh no, because I logged on from my computer so that I can have the YouTube on the other screen and the podcast on one screen. Can Lingy, can you email me that our link? Or maybe I can, because then I can open it in the email. Yeah, is that? Can you email it? And plus, I wanted to get off my phone because I put the do not disturb thing on, but it kicked me off.
all right, this is good.
Okay, thank you.
Is Lawrence coming back in or
What happened? He dropped off.
yeah, I wonder if he knows to just log back in again. All right, let's see. Okay, so for those of you who are out there on YouTube or Facebook or who's trying to get in, YouTube is a good source to figure your way into an easy transition without having to deal with the link. Otherwise, the link is actually sent to our class Facebook page. So otherwise, let us know. Send a message there. We have our moderators who are out there to assist you to getting into the group, into the live.
Hey, Gideon. Yes, this is live, and they also can't see the comments, so we'll be reading it out.
Okay. Fufui, if you can send a message out to those who are on our class page, if they're having a hard time with the link, they can just join us on YouTube, which is would probably be easier for most of them, especially those that are using their phone. Huh? What was that? Oh,
No, sorry, MK and then my last name, FAUMUINA at Gmail. Thank you, love. Okie dokie. Okay. And then Fui said that YouTube is the bomb. It sounds very clear and live pictures are clear as well.
Okay.
That's all right.
Ha.
I think
Okay, I'm gonna leave and join in the right link. I got the email.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
okay.
You're welcome.
We good?
Yes. I was wondering what happened to the sound. That was weird.
Yeah.
Oh, so can someone tell John that he doesn't have to download if he's using his computer? If he's using the link, if he's on his computer using the link, he can come straight into here. There's a special link only for him. Yes, just log into the link if he's using his computer. It's his cell phone. He has to go through the same process as what we tested out yesterday. I can hear you. I can hear you. Yeah. Mhm.
Um,
Yes.
um,
Yes. Yeah. Mhm. Go. Uh-huh. Who's this? Okay. Okay. Sis, if you can walk him, if you can. Okay. If you want to walk him through with his phone. All right, you guys. There's some technical difficulties on the side back home in Samoa. So our guest is trying to get logged in. So bear with us as he tries to get his phone working with the internet. Yep, that's a good question. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. All right, for all of those who are out there, go ahead and join us as we wait for our guests to get on live. We've got about 2 more minutes, but we have some technical difficulties. But we'll make up for those missing time if we do go past, just to be able to hear our brother out as he joins us. But in the meantime, our moderators are out there helping those who are in need to get on the live. So join us. YouTube is a better way if you're not able to get through the link that was sent to us in the Facebook page. Thank you, Fui Fui, for letting me know that I'm loud and clear. That was one of the biggest problem I had when I just came on. So thank you for confirming that. Again, to everyone that's out there, we want you to join us. Get on the chat as we wait for our brother to get online. All right, let's get Lengy in here. Yay! All right, Lengy, did you
somebody
connect
keeps
with your
kicking me
Wi-Fi?
out.
All right. So Eileen is currently helping. Okay. 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 Sounds good. Loud and clear. Loud and clear.
Yep.
Hey, Lolegi, can you see my script on here?
What do you mean?
Can you see the teleprompter?
No,
Okay, good, 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 good,
no.
good. Okay. uh, you could go ahead and open Facebook, but I believe that any of the messages that come into YouTube also, I just noticed that testing it today, comes also Facebook and YouTube comes into this app. So, but that was just a small test today. But that's just, I don't know. I'm not completely 100%. But it would be nice for him to moderate that area. Okay. Let's see. All right, so Eileen is currently working with our guest, as he downloads his app so that he's able to get into the feed, our live streaming.
So you know what? Maybe while they do that, just remind everybody about the to vote for the dates. Who will be attending?
Yeah, I have it on the
Right,
script for
NASA?
the. Yeah, I have it on the script for our introduction. So before we start, yeah, I have
Oh,
that on
okay.
there to remind
Gotcha.
everyone. Mhm. But
Okay.
yep, yep. Those of you who are trying to get in, who have friends that are also having a hard time to get in, go on YouTube, look my name up, and you will be able to find our live stream there. Those of you who are on our Facebook, share the link. And if you have a cell phone, watching us from your cell phone, you're gonna have to download the app, unfortunately. But if you're using your computer, you could go directly to this link by selecting that browser that we sent to you. All right, let's see.
I know we can't see the chat, but what's up, everybody?
Yes.
Type in where you're all chiming in from.
John.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Welcome, welcome.
On.
All right, all right. Let's get
Well,
started. How are you,
yeah, sorry
John?
about that.
No worries, no worries. All right, let's get started because I know that your time is very valuable, and I know especially after work, trying to get back to other obligations. So, all right, so let's get started. Welcome to tonight's podcast. And so, before we begin, we want to take a moment to acknowledge our dear friends and family who are affected by the fires in California. Our thoughts and prayers are with you all. May you stay safe and strong during this challenging time. Tonight's podcast was inspired by the Leone High School Alumni Jubilee, a celebration that also marks the 30th anniversary of the class of 1960. This podcast aims to unite our classmates with familiarities, laughter, shared life experience, and inspiring journeys as we honor our class motto. And I'm sure that everybody remembers unity is our strength. We hope it resonates far and wide, igniting a
Yes.
sense of togetherness no matter where has taken us. For our classmates and friends walking different paths or facing their own challenges, we pray this podcast becomes a source of connection, inspiration, motivation, and much more. A special thank to tonight's sponsor, Pop, also known as Pulso Polynesia, for generously supporting our podcast. For those brave enough to take the hot seat, thank you, John. Pop offer $50. You can choose to keep it or donate it to our class funds for the upcoming October reunion. In generous gesture, tonight's guest has chosen to donate their $50 to our class funds. Thank you for your support. And also, a quick reminder before we start, don't don't forget to vote on our class Facebook page as we finalize the headcount for Las Vegas trip, May 30th through the 1st of June. Hope to see everyone out there. Your RSVP matters, so let us know if you'll be joining us for this exciting event. And now, without further ado, let's dive into tonight's podcast. I am Leasa Filoeli, one of the hosts coming to you live from Houston, Texas. And also joining us is our co-host from the West Coast in California, Lolengi. Yeah, what's up, Lolengi? And in the hot seat, all the
Malo,
way from
malo.
American Samoa, we are honored to welcome Dr. Aifili John Tufa. Yay!
Cool.
What's up, John? How are
Hi guys.
you?
Good to be here.
Yay!
Hey.
All
All
right,
right.
all right. So,
Yeah. Besides the receding hairline and weight gain, I'm doing fine. Thank you.
hey, I'm also receding my hairline too, so don't even worry about it.
Yeah, I think all of us are.
And I was gonna say something about the special oil that I use, but I'm not going to because everyone's gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, here she
Yeah.
goes again."
Castor oil,
All
right?
right, so yeah,
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
the
I caught
best.
that podcast. So yeah.
Oh,
Hey, tip,
nice.
it does work. See, it's coming in. So, all right. So,
Gotta try it.
John, we're gonna talk about life after high school. Okay. So, what did life look like for you immediately after high school? Did you stay in Samoa or venture out?
Oh wow. Um. Well, before I go into that, I just want to say, thank you guys for putting this up. Providing this platform. Um, not only for us to catch up, but to do exactly that, to think back and just recap our journey in life until getting now to where we're at. This is something else, and I've enjoyed watching the podcast for our other classmates. So yeah, I just want to say thank you and apologize for the location. I'm in my car. We have a power outage. The weather is not too good right now, and I hope my internet stays on. But life after high school. We had I think we were the first ones to have our graduation in the evening or at nighttime. We were a class that did everything our own way and new ways, and that was pretty cool. Right after that, I hopped on the plane and I went off to basic training. Yeah,
Oh wow.
I joined the army right after.
Military.
Yeah, right out of high school. Um, I think at
If
that
if
time I
if you
didn't
don't-
think I was gonna get. Go ahead.
if you don't mind me asking, what was your MOS, John? Military.
I started off as a 75 Bravo, which is a personnel specialist, and then after that,
Okay.
I I moved to my unit in Hawaii, and I saw a bunch of Samoan guys going out to the field, looking all cool with their, carrying their weapons and things like that. And I was like, I think I want to do that instead of sitting in the office. So I switched my MOS
Nice.
to 11 Bravo right away. Yeah, so I've been with the 11 Bravo
Nice.
for, yeah, I was in the service for 24 years, mostly Army Reserve, but yeah.
Oh wow. Well, thank you so much for your service. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it was quite a ride. Um, Learned a lot. I think I came out of high school not really knowing what I was going to do with my life. Um, I wasn't, the brightest, sharpest tool in the toolbox. I didn't think I was going to get a scholarship, so I thought, okay, I was ready to leave the island, and so I talked to the recruiter about a good 2 months before graduation. Was able to, enlist, and yeah, I think it was right after high school. I hopped on that airplane and went off to South Carolina, and I was in basic training there. And actually, I was very fortunate to attend basic training with one of our classmates.
Who is
Uh,
that?
Luminati.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
Luminati, if you're
wow.
out
yeah,
there, I'm
Yeah,
still waiting for you on the
Illuminati.
hot seat.
yeah. So that was pretty cool. And when I left, I think that was one of the only times I've ever left the island. So I was, fresh off the rock,
Yeah, I was
fresh
gonna
off the
ask
boat.
you. I was gonna ask you because a lot of us are so used to this the life in Samoa, right? So how was
Right.
was so that must have been a culture shock for you. How do you
Oh yes,
adjust to that?
huge culture shock. I think the prior to that, the only other time I've been off island was when our football team went up to Hawaii to play against various high schools. So that was different. That was fun. I was traveling with a bunch of my friends, the coaches, and we had a good time. But when I was going off to basic training, I basically hopped on the airplane by myself.
Hmm.
I had to learn real quick on how to navigate the airports and systems like that. And I thought, oh my goodness, I don't think I'm ever gonna get there. But I eventually did. Got to South Carolina and spent about 3 or 4 months there, basic training. Yeah.
Was there a lot of collect calls to your family, questioning your decision to be there?
Um. Yeah. You know, I think I graduated before I turned 18, and so of course I didn't. I had to have my parents sign my contract with the army, and believe it or not, they had no idea that I had gone over to the recruiting station and try to get into the military. Yeah, I thought I could do it by myself. So the recruiter, I
Wow.
think it was Vayal, I forgot the recruiter's name, but anyways, he had to come to the house, sit down with my parents, and try to convince them to sign my contract. So yeah, there was a lot of questions. Why are you going off into basic training and military and things like that? But I think the idea of having the army pay for my tuition and some of the benefits, that's what really got me going there. So yeah.
I wonder because are you the first or the only one in your family that decided to take this route first, joining the military?
Yes, I would say with my immediate family, with my brothers and sisters, I was the first one. But I come from a family of those who served in the military. My uncles on my mom's side and even on my dad's side have served in the military. So it wasn't something new to the entire family, but it was quite a shocker for my parents. But we're here now. I didn't give him a
Yes.
heart attack, but yeah.
Would you want your son to take the same route as you did?
Oof.
To surprise you later, saying, "Hey, I'm joining the military."
Well, maybe not the surprise part. I think if once he get to that point where he is graduating from high school and ready to leave, if he decides to join the military, it'd be nice to sit down and talk with him and give share with him my experience and things
Hmm.
like that. But of course, I like the experience to be his own unique experience. But to me, honestly, I think I would rather him do something else. I have this mentality. I serve the military so that he doesn't have to. But it is. I would say it was an honor to serve in the military, and I wouldn't want to say anything to take that away from him. If he decides to go, well, I'll support him.
Well, we thank you for your service because it's not that easy, especially being young coming out from the
Yeah, thank
islands.
you.
Well, yeah, yeah. Thank you, thank
Yeah.
you.
And also, I wanted to
And
mention.
John, straight out of basic training,
Go
did you
ahead.
move straight to Hawaii?
Yes, I did. Um, I didn't really.
Oh,
I didn't realize I had been accepted to UH Hilo after high school. Um, so I left and I came back and I was told that hey, you actually got accepted to UH Hilo, and I received a government scholarship to go there. My hats off to our counselor who I think submitted all that for me. My SAT scores were not that stellar. I was a Ula Valley kid, didn't really study that much in high school, and I was just fortunate to land that. Yeah.
You,
Oh,
you know, you
wow.
said that you were
Wow.
told that you received the UH letter. What did you get it from your mom, your dad? Who did someone call you? Because you were in the military, obviously at that time, right? And
Yes.
did you get the answer after boot camp or while you were in boot camp?
It's while I was in boot camp,
So you now
and
had a direction after boot camp, how to make you
right,
feel better.
I had a renewed sense of direction and
Yes.
motivation. Um, my plan was to join the military, go active duty, gung ho. I grew up, playing gunfights with my cousins, using those sticks. So I had this mindset of doing that for the rest of my life. I was young and adventurous back then. But yeah, I'm glad that things turned out the way it did,
Hmm.
and I switched over to become an army reservist. My mom was like, "Hindi ay, hindi ay, sao iefalao nga." So
Well, she
yeah,
must have been very happy though
Yeah.
that you were able to keep being in the military and also getting your education. So,
yeah. She was quite, and for myself too. I was pretty happy that I got back and had the opportunity to experience the whole going to college part of my life, which was quite exciting as well.
so I have to ask you. I was watching a couple of your videos. You had done some several podcasts in the past, and
Oh,
one of them was with 3 Degrees. I believe his name is Edwin Amatanga 4 years ago, and it was
yes, yes,
during.
yes.
And I'm not going to get into details about that, but there was one particular question that was asked, and you had said, and I know a lot of, and I'm going to ask this because a lot of college kids, when they go to school, they go to college without having that niche of what they want to be. And so you had mentioned that you have changed your major many times. What was that made you decide to become? And I had to write it down so I could pronounce it
Mhm.
correctly. Epidemiologist.
Oh
For
wow.
those of you who are out there who don't know
Epidemiologist.
what that is, which I just learned that recently, can you explain to us what that means? That particular major that you got into and you got your doctorates in.
Oh wow. Yeah. Well, epidemiology is it's a field in the medical field where we study the spread of diseases, who gets it, and try to come up with ways to try to slow it down or even stop the spread. So that's a very general way of describing the field. It's quite exciting, um, and we're heavily trained in things like statistics and research methods, so that when we look at what other scientists have done, that we can really decipher, their results and be able to explain it to our leaders and even the public, so that they can make informed decisions on their health and generally what's happening. So, but how I got into the field, wow, I never had a plan to get into the field, to be honest. When I was in getting my bachelor's degree, like I said, I changed my field of study so many times, and that's because I really didn't know what I wanted to get into. What I had realized was I had so many interests. I was interested in variety of things. I first went in as a agriculture major. Growing up in American Samoa, I always had my hands dirty with my grandfather, late, Nutali, and he was a farmer, and that's what we did growing up, and so that's what I went into. But then, things changed. I talked to some of my friends; they were, really interested in making money. Now this whole idea about you know, getting out of school, make money, become rich. So I went into to economics. Um, I study economics a little bit, looking at how things work in the market system, how people make decisions on where to put their money and things like that. I also majored in geography, um, but every major that I went into, I realized there's a lot of
You
writing and a lot
mentioned
of presentations.
you got
Yeah,
into trying to create maps, and you figured it wasn't for you.
yeah. I went into geography, and I realized my artistic side was not as, especially with drawing and making things like that, was not up to par. And so I switched, and I was trying to look for a major where I didn't have to do too many essay writings. Coming from American Samoa, I didn't, I wasn't really into writing. So what degree can I get into that minimizes writing? So I went into mathematics and computer science. Um, Also delved into a little bit of physics and chemistry.
Hmm.
Um, but after 4 years, the government wrote me saying, "Hey, your scholarship is running out. Either you finish or we're not going to send you any more money." And so I consolidated all my credits, talked to my professors, and they say, "Okay, you can get a degree in math and economics, and eventually a minor in computer science." So that's what I graduated with. But the experience there, one of the things I learned about myself is I really enjoy looking at patterns, how things move, especially with math and statistics. And when I was doing my degree in economics, um, one of my projects was to look at the health expenditure here in American Samoa, and that's when I realized, wow, we were top in the world in various statistics. Not good ones. We, high in obesity levels, heart disease, things like that, diabetes, hypertension, and that's what sparked my interest in health. And I used my skills in mathematics and looking at patterns, and that's exactly what an epidemiologist does. And so I went into the field and got my master's degree and eventually a PhD. So yeah, sorry, I think that took kind of long.
No, no, no. No, it's
Oh,
good. I was gonna
what a
ask
great
you.
journey! Congratulations on
Yeah,
that.
at least you weren't a
Yeah,
career
thank you.
student. So,
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Didn't realize that we had others listening in, so just want to say hi. Hi, everyone. Oh, a little bit more pressure. Now I'm nervous, but hi, everyone.
I was gonna ask you a question about how you feel your Samoan roots influenced your academic journey, but you just mentioned, looking into the studies and finding how there's so many. We're top in overweight and a lot of different disease. It's crazy. I know, like Lolani, you're also in the medical field, and you see a lot of that, especially
Yes.
now in California. So again, like
Yes.
just like what everybody said, we're so proud of you, John, and also thank you for all the things that you do for our people and still
Yes.
continue to do so. Um, I'm going to ask a question, and
Thank you.
one of our classmates had asked this question: what are some of the biggest challenges to improving quality of healthcare, hospital services in American Samoa?
Oh, wow. That is a big question. Um, and I just want to say first that I'm going to say this. These are my personal views, and I'm not speaking in my role as the chairman of the LBJ Hospital and other roles here.
Yes.
Um, there are I can't pinpoint one biggest challenge. There are a lot of challenges that we're facing here. One of the, we're an island nation, island territory that's pretty much isolated from the rest of the world. Um, if we look at where we came from when we were teenagers up until now, changes in technology, changes in culture, even food, how we, things are moving so fast. And one of the things that's challenging for us being so isolated, our systems, I wouldn't say, uh, have not really caught up with a lot of these changes. I'm not sure if I'm making any sense here. Uh, you know, the the work ethics, um, even looking at supply chains coming here on island, the pool of human resources, training capacity, are some of the big challenges that we have here. Um,
Mm.
if we look at ourselves, a lot of us, we have a lot of good raw talent here in American Samoa, uh, being, their foundations really being rooted here. But we leave, and a lot of us don't come back. So, um, a lot of our good students, we go and we don't come back to American Samoa for many various reasons. And if we look at some of us who do come back, we come back for family. Some of our parents have are reaching a certain age, and but a lot of those who have gone off island, who received the training, who received the education, they don't really come back. Maybe not until much later. Things like that. So how does that spell into challenges for healthcare? Um, and when I say about systems, there are certain ways that we have a system that's archaic. We have an infrastructure that's pretty, archaic as well. And getting it to move and improve to a certain standard with a lot of fast-growing, fast-changing society or communities that we live in now, um, it's quite a challenge. Um, a lot of our people, so food is very easy to get to.
Mhm.
Our life has been very convenient, and so we run into the uh, things where we work all the time, not too much time focus on our health. And so one of the things that we do put aside is, okay, we're sacrificing our time to make money for our families, Falavelave, our ecclesia, and forgetting to really focus on taking care of of ourselves. And before you know it, we're sick, and then we go into a healthcare system that's really trying to catch up with all the advances that we have here. Um, it's I'm not sure if I'm making any sense. There's a lot of good work that's happening here. A lot of good people putting in um, good work, but if we look at policies, some of the systems that we have here, that's what needs to be improved.
Okay.
We as a people really need to think and ask ourselves, where do we want to take this? Um, do we want to move towards to be one of the blue zones that we see around the world? So, what foods are we bringing into the country? Uh, what monies are we investing in our schools? What monies are we investing in the people that are coming back and working? So those are some of the challenges I would say um, is what's really, yeah.
Do you think that
Sorry, it's not very.
no, you're good.
Again,
So you answered the other
No.
question that I was going to ask, but I wanted to add to it. Like with everything that's going on and the improvements that are trying to be made with our island, do you think that another reason could be that there's not enough funding, that people decide to leave, get training elsewhere, and then find a better job because they're not getting paid the way that they need to, and so we don't get that,
yeah,
you know.
it is part of that. We grow up here, we go off island, we find work out there, we develop a certain work ethics, and we get paid a certain way. And then when you come back to American Samoa, we then try to compare what we're making out there versus here,
That's
realizing
true.
that it's not a reality. Um, those are some of the sacrifices we'd have to make. We cannot compete with some of the salaries that are being made out there, and we've been
No.
trying to figure out how to really get to the point where we get funds to be as competitive as we can with off-island rates. We're slowly getting there. If you look at the pay rates that we have here, it's really improved in the past, I would say, 8 years since I've been here. We have doctors that are now getting paid almost at competitive levels with some of our counterparts here in the Pacific and even in Hawaii. But when we're looking at specialty positions like surgeons or cardiologists, and oncologists and things like that, now that's where we cannot compete. Because in the states and other parts, we're looking at an insurance-based compensation system where we are still at a salary based. So a physician who's a cardiologist off island can make hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, versus if they come here, we can only offer them what the salary um, structure is provided by LBJ or even at the HR here in American Samoa. So that's, yeah, what's one of the biggest challenges. Yeah.
John, I have a question for you. I just
Maybe Levi can
because I
answer
know
it
you're
better.
sitting on the board, and I know you're sitting on the board, and it's difficult to have difficult questions and kind of hard for you to answer at this time. But let's talk about some accomplishments you did do. How about that coronavirus outbreak? I gotta say,
Oh
I gotta
wow.
give my hats off to you for that task team that you put together. Knowing at the time the population of Samoa was about 43,000 people, and here in California, 91,000 people died from the virus. It could have been catastrophic had this virus gotten to Samoa, but you were able to evade it for 18 months. That's a year and a little over a half. So I want to personally, because 90% of my family was in Samoa at the time. So I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. You may have saved us from wiping out our race. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Wow. Yeah. Coronavirus. When the pandemic happened, I would say it was a really tough time. Really, really tough time, not only for us here in American Samoa, but worldwide. We were hit with a virus. It's a novel virus, never seen before. We know that some of the common codes that are being circulated in the population are they are strains of coronaviruses, but this new SARS, COVID-2 virus, never been seen before. When other outbreaks of coronavirus happened, maybe 10 or 20 years prior to that, like the SARS and other ones, the virility, or how fast it can kill people. Some of them were looking at 20,
Yes.
30% kill rate. And so when
Yeah.
coronavirus first came out and its kill rate was around that, about 20%. So you're looking at it, if 10 people were to get the virus, two out of 10 would be, at risk of dying. And so when that came out of the from Asia and China and moved over to Europe, one of the things that came out was those with compromised immune systems, like individuals with like chronic diseases such as diabetes, hypertension, heart disease,
Yes.
were really at risk. And so if we look at the
Oh, it's
prevalence of that here on island, it's pretty high. So that was pretty scary. We didn't have any vaccine to control it at that time, and so
yes.
Governor Lolo posed the question to our to the team was, if the virus was to come here, that's what I think it was Delta at that time, the Delta strain. If the virus was
Uh-huh.
came here, how what are we looking at? So we got some numbers looking how fast it's spreading elsewhere, looking how it was, how many people are dying from it, and getting those numbers and try to project it to our population. Where the numbers were not good. We did the calculations over and over again, and the numbers were still reaching in the high, like 1,800, 1,900
Wow.
people possibly. But mind you, those are
Wow.
projections. Um, so that's when they're like, okay, what's then the question would be, how do we stop this from coming in? And the only solution was to close the borders. And I think we were
Yeah.
one of the first countries in the world to really close our borders. And we solved one problem, but that presented a multitude of other problems that we were not prepared for. But we were fortunate that the funding was then brought down. We were able to put together a repatriation program that we did our best with what we had to try to return some of our citizens or our people who left the island before we closed the borders, and to brought them back. And some of our family members who actually live off island, trying to come home for falavelavas and things like that, brought up many challenges. Um, I do want to mention that it's you say that I cannot claim this, saying that no, we had a huge team that worked together to make this
Yes, yes.
possible. I was just fortunate to be one of the members in there, but yeah, a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
So we wanted to make sure
Yeah.
that
The
the
COVID
virus
task
was
force
not
to be
here.
exact.
Yes, the COVID task force. We had some really brave
Yes.
leaders that came out of the pandemic who made some really tough decisions. That to be honest, a lot of the decisions were heartbreaking, and it's not easy, um, you know, to go through some of that. And I just want to thank those who were gave us the faith and and being patient with some of the things that we did. It's all behind us now, and I just hope that we're now heading towards a different direction, better direction. A lot of lessons learned.
Thank you. Yeah. Mhm.
No, thank you. Oh, thank you. um, maybe sharing some of the experiences and knowledge that you've gained, from working in your field, um, because a lot of the workforce here, if you look at it, you know, probably have very little experience with living abroad. And some of the individuals that are now have returned and worked here, a lot of their experience is only from abroad. So there's a big mixture there, and it will take some time for a place as isolated as our islands to really catch up with some of the changing, the fast-paced changing times that we're seeing now. You all see with the advancements of technology, with artificial intelligence, and
Hmm.
Elon Musk trying to go to Mars, and so
I
Yeah.
hope he did go to Mars yet. So we are having some technical difficulties. He's in
I
Samoa.
hope Elon Musk was I hope Elon Musk isn't watching. He disconnected when you brought up his name.
Well, yeah,
He'll
hopefully, because
reconnect shortly.
he'll connect shortly. In the meantime, that was very interesting. Being able to hear all the challenges that he had faced, and being able to actually
That was,
he took it head on, like did a good job with, especially with his staff, dealing with the COVID situation. So that's
yeah,
amazing. You know,
yeah.
I think a lot of people will crash
And I
under
think his
pressure.
skills with like, yeah, I think that skill set that he picked up when he was in college, being able to formulate formulas
Hmm.
and stuff like that, he incorporated into what he does now.
Hmm.
That makes him really good at what he does. Everything is like the numbers game, right? When he was doing the research on the whole COVID outbreak. I mean, to be honest with you guys listening in, um, yeah, it was bad. It was
You
bad,
know,
and I'm so happy that John and his team were able to evade COVID for a whole year and a little over a half. So 18 months. 18 months they were able to evade the virus. And I thought to myself, this is good. This is pretty good because all my family was in Samoa at the time. And I was like, this is good. We're coming on the back end of it, and they still haven't gotten the case yet. So they had their team, really hold out. So it's
you're not
very,
gonna always
very inspiring.
you can never satisfy everybody, so you're gonna always get the opposition of the decisions that were made. But the fact that
Yeah,
within those 18 months you look back and realize if it was done differently, it would have been a lot damaging for our people in our communities. So that
yeah,
decision, looking back, was a good choice. What they decided to do for
yeah,
our people. So
yeah. Because I was looking at the numbers too when COVID broke out, and I knew that if it could have been devastating. It could have wiped out a lot of people in Samoa, being that we're so small and the population was so little at the time.
yes,
So
and our population is still
I'm really
usually,
happy.
yes,
Yeah,
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 hmm, yes,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. But it's but you but yeah, but you know what,
That's a
sis?
good
If you
point.
think about it, if you really think about it, good leaders have to make the tough decisions. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, 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 yeah. What an amazing job that he's doing so far. You know?
Mhm. And this is just a preparation for what's to come in the future, because we know that we are most likely going to be probably getting another, hopefully not, but just in case another one comes through, another one of those
Yeah,
sickness,
they'll be
we're
ready.
prepared.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they'll be ready.
So while we're waiting for John to get back on, they're having I think a power outage on
Yeah.
their end, and he's in his car using his cell phone. So
Yeah.
hopefully we can get him back on. But in the meantime, while we're waiting, for those of you who weren't able to catch the first part of this, um, we the announcement was made in regards to the Vegas trip. So please go into our Facebook page or send us a message. Let us know if you are going to be there. We would like to get a head count of all those who are going to attend our Vegas trip. And I believe that's the end of May, all the way through the 1st or 2nd of June. So it would be nice to get everybody out
Yes.
there. All right. So
Yes.
John is back in.
And
Oh my God, I'm
Okay.
there
so
you go.
sorry.
No, we as soon
My
as you
That's
said
okay.
Elon Musk,
That's okay.
we're worried that Elon Musk took you out.
my my phone died. You know, we had a power outage here, and so I was in my car, and I thought it was hooked up to the charger, but
Oh,
yeah.
well, you know
So
what?
sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
I can't remember
So
what I was talking
so
No
about.
worries.
so
So
John,
so
we're
we were
gonna
talking about
yeah.
what things. Go ahead.
No, no, you go ahead. Go ahead.
We're talking about you were mentioning of what we can do as islanders off island can do to help out with you guys back home.
Oh, right, right. That was Gideon's question.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Like I said, I think it was either come back home and work, or
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you
Right.
can't, because a lot of us are now settled. Sorry about the dogs. I'm outside. Um,
Say halu.
Life in Samoa.
That's okay.
Yeah, but sharing knowledge. Sharing with people in your field who are working here. You can always, social media has been become a very what do you call that? A platform where people share, and it's been very effective in moving some things, not only in the families, political. We see some of the elections have been decided, through campaigning through social media. Um, so we can use platforms like that to connect with people here, and having podcasts like this, sharing knowledge with yeah, with our with your counterpart back home. I think that can be one of the ways to really help out. You know, allowing for opportunities to converse and share experience, and um, having someone to talk to and be like, hey, I have this issue here. How would you handle that? In your organization, things like that. I think would be helpful.
So John,
Yes.
I know a lot of our classmates are out there wanting to jump into the memories of high school. So we're gonna jump into that before we get cut off again. So
All right.
the first question we're gonna ask is, what was a typical day like at Leone High School during your time?
Oof. Um, all right. Well, my mom was the principal, and I think in our first 2 years or so. So I'm always early. Um, yeah. So yeah, walk in, um, just hang out with the friends, and then off to class. Sometimes I don't know. I was one of those kids who were very spacey. Tupi or Paulo could be doing a lecture on something, and I'm staring off, and they would ask me a question, and I'm like, "Whoa, what?" So I was, yeah. Um, but I would always look forward to lunch, so I can hang out some more, and to eat lunch, and then after school, so I can go to either football practice or baseball practice. Yeah, that was my life. Yeah.
Do you remember any funny or
Speaking
legendary
about football
moments
practice,
from? Oh,
uh,
go ahead. Go ahead.
oh, sorry. I the other night, me, Lasso, Gideon, Eileen, we were talking about uh, back in high school when we were playing football, and Gideon had mentioned that Me and him used to always comment how we loved catching balls from you and not Gabriel because he always threw it like he was trying to take your head off.
Yeah, we had a
I
good
don't know if
time.
you recall those.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
had a really good time, and I was just fortunate to be a part of the team of with such great athletes. You know, you guys were
Hmm.
so fast, and I think that's why maybe Gabriel was throwing the ball so hard to try to catch you guys running. But Gabriel was always an athlete. You know,
Hmm.
a very strong athlete,
Yeah.
and him with among all the other football players, and we that's why we were so successful. Yeah, I had a really good time playing there. I think a lot of my life lessons I've carried on to this day is what I learned, from a group of friends there and our coaches, and some of our wins and our losses that we went through throughout the years.
Yeah.
You guys, when you guys went to Hawaii, I know it was challenging because we Leone High School, especially class of 1995, we took championship all 4 years. Um, how was that different in comparison to competing with those football teams in Hawaii?
Oh my God. Well, first of all, I can only speak for myself. I was really nervous. uh, the level of I would say the skill set there was a little bit more advanced than what we had. I think for a lot of us, we had really raw talent. We were fast. We were strong. But a lot of those kids, we didn't have Pop Warner and
Yeah.
where you can start the kids off early. They have that now, and we can see that the skills and the kids' IQ of football
Hmm.
once they get to high school is much different. But yeah, when we got there, there were some teams that we were able to beat. I think IEA was one of them. Was it IEA? I can't remember the name of the schools, but before playing Kahuku, we had two different scrimmages and we did very well. But when we walked into that stadium to play against Kahuku, just looking around and seeing all the people and
Yeah.
the stairs and
All the
chairs that go
red.
up like 10 stories high, and yeah,
Yeah.
it was quite a challenge trying to focus on a football game. We got smashed, but it was good. Good experience. Yeah, came back and took champs.
That I'll take that. The
Mm.
championship back home, I'll take that. That's something for us to carry on forever. So, oh, your mom,
Yeah.
who you mentioned, she was a principal at Leone High School, which must have been a very unique experience for you. How did her leadership and role at Leone High School shape your values and aspiration growing up?
Oh yeah, my mom. She's like the pillar of our family. She is the backbone. She is the foundation. She is everything. All her life, was all about education. My dad was quite a provider, but he was really busy. He worked as a physician, but for us, we grew up with our mom, and my mom being a principal at Leone High School. We live in Ilili, but we still took the time to get up and catch the bus and try to make it there on time. And when we have the car, we're always there. We had a good time. But when I was going to school there with my mom being the principal, uh, she was a little tough. Uh, hey, abang ge ifa along walk we say mo kupo ka wale ay ma ko ila ay blah blah things like that. You better have good grades. So
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, I think it was during our sophomore year that she moved to the main office, and that's when I start cutting classes and doing the never mind. I won't go and get into that.
So, what are some most
Yeah, but
memorable moments
yeah,
in
big
Leone
part.
High School that you have?
Ooh, there's there's so many. Um, you know, on the football field, uh, championships, practices. When I got put on my back so many times by our defensive line during practice,
Who was it?
You
Who is? I
know,
want to know.
um,
Was it Sam?
oh well, Spencer for sure.
Okay.
No, Sam was offense. He was my yeah, he was
Okay. Lawrence, you better not stand still. Don't stand still.
I think because he said the weather was pretty bad, so
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he'll connect.
I thought you were gonna freeze just to go drive me crazy. Don't freeze. All right. So while we're waiting, again, we're having
Wow,
technical
what a yeah.
difficulties. Again, yes, we. Oh, he's trying to come in. So
Uh-huh.
while we're waiting on him, again, don't forget to vote. Get a head count for those who are going to attend
There he
the
is.
Vegas reunion. Back that's coming up in May, the end of May. More details will start to come up soon, but we need a head count. So please get on our page and vote. Any questions that you have, you want to ask John about high school, let us know. Our moderators are in the chat room, so they'll jump in and ask the questions for you. Feel free because there's some questions I may not be asking that you may want to ask, especially some stories of football or whatever.
Yeah.
Feel free to ask those questions while we, and
I
think of
think
those questions. Hmm.
yeah, I think who John was trying to mention when he got hit was Fatu Cyrus.
Sorry. Oh, was he defense or he was defense? Offense? Defense, right?
Yeah. Cyrus was the one who you yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, so Cyrus, if you're out there, if it's you, then must have been a really hard hit. Hello.
Yeah.
So as he's trying to get back in, we'll hopefully get him on and ask more questions that these guys have. Because I'm sure there's a lot, especially with the football players.
Yeah.
Okay, there's
Man,
John. Yay!
am I back
Lena, I
on?
believe you. Yes, you're back on.
Yep, yeah,
I
you're
think
on.
Lena has some questions for you from the chat. Lena, did you want to go ahead and ask him?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hold
well,
on.
person that put me on was Junior. I was back where you
Okay, so
He'll
again,
probably
for
log
the
in
problems,
again.
yeah. So
Yeah.
while
Well,
we're
you
waiting,
know the weather in
yeah.
Samoa when it gets bad, it gets pretty bad.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know what? I miss running and just playing in the rain, nice and warm. Unlike the one in
With
Alaska in
just
the winter.
shorts, right?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see. He's back in. Testing, testing, John.
Mhm.
All right. Kidding. can't hear me? Okay, okay.
Oh, there he is. Okay, he's back.
We can't hear you, John. John, testing.
Probably see.
John, we can't hear you.
Let's see, put this volume.
We can't hear you, John.
He's probably gonna try that again. I think he's having connection issues, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think when he comes back in, it should be working then.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. So probably you know what we should do. That's why when he gets back in, we should just let him talk. So that way, because of the connection.
Hello,
Yeah,
hello.
yeah,
Okay.
yes,
Oh
yes.
my goodness.
Oh, okay. There you are. We can hear you.
Yeah. Really, really sorry about this. It's just bad weather, bad internet, and yeah, this is a challenge of living here in American Samoa.
No, no problem. Lena, did you want to jump in
Add
and
to the
let
list.
John know?
Yeah, yeah, sure did. Another person that I think he actually knocked me out was Sam Umi. I think I was trying to play defense and I was trying to make a tackle and I made a mistake. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, 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 Starlink. But yeah, big guys in D
Yeah.
line like Molikoa. We see Steve Filianga. Those folks.
Yeah.
Sorry, some of the names is kind of a blur now, but yeah, we had such a great group of guys.
so John,
Yeah.
were there some funny, crazy moments that you could share with us? With the football players that I know a lot of us would like to know.
Crazy moments. Oh, one of the things that comes to mind would be our rookie nights.
Oh, please share.
So yeah, we had before every game we have a morkasi at the cafeteria, and the first game of the season, uh, everyone who's new to the team have to get up and do a number to entertain all the veterans on the football team. Yeah, it got I want to say it got a little R-rated sometimes, so I don't want to go into details, but it is a rite of passage, and we all went through it.
Good
So
times.
it,
Good
I
times.
think I remember one time where the cheerleaders were coming in and I think it was Okela that was standing by the door and we were trying to walk past the cafeteria and he was telling us, to leave, get away. So I think it was during that time when you guys were doing your rookie night.
Yeah, yeah, and for some reason, extra articles of clothing usually comes off, so you can use your imagination.
Yeah. Yeah. Those were very sacred. Those were very sacred
Yeah.
nights.
Well, okay, so those of you in the group chat, if you got some questions, because I'm trying not to use my imagination, go ahead and throw those questions in there.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, okay. That was um so I know that John, you also probably enjoyed some of our cafeteria food. I mean, what was your favorite?
Ooh, ah, hard to say. I think I ate everything they put on the plate. Um, but the favorite, I would say, I always look forward to those square pizzas that they serve, or even a hot dog in a bun. Um, but one of my favorites actually was there's a slop that they served. where it's like ham with a white gravy with peas
Yes,
over rice. Yeah,
that did
you guys
taste
remember that?
good.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was good.
yeah. I remember
yeah,
that.
I'm glad I'm not the only
yeah.
one that thought that was good. Okay. Yeah, it had a
Yeah.
good
So
flavor mixed with the rice.
Follow up question.
yeah.
Yeah. Follow up question. Favorite high school instructor and some knowledge that they gave to you that you still carry with you today.
Oh, a high school instructor. Oh, um, I'd have to really think because I hardly paid attention in class. And I think some of our classmates knew about that. I survived through copying it. So if I copied off of you when I was in high school, thank you so much. Um, um, it's hard to say because I learned from Inesi was a very good. We took Samoa history from him.
Yes.
um, I was really interested in the way he taught, us about the stories and legends and things like that. I had very little knowledge about our Samoan culture, language, and so how he taught the class was um, one of the things that I took back now that I have to get in front of people and talk. His delivery was something that I looked up to. Is it Larry Madrigal?
Yes. I saw
Yeah.
was it
Yeah.
biology
Yeah.
or I know something in
Hey,
science.
no, I think it was.
Chemistry?
Is it world history or no? No, not Larry. I think his son was. He's a guitar player. We had. Oh,
Oh,
maybe I got the name wrong. See how
it's
absent-minded.
been
Yeah,
a
but Larry
while.
Madrigal,
Yeah.
chemistry teacher. Yeah, I remembered when he had an experiment on the table where he put some kind of gas in a soda bottle, and with I think he had nails poked into there, and then he was able to connect wires and then light a light bulb from it, showing that how some gases can transfer electrons and be able to light a light bulb. I think that really piqued my interest in science and how, hence my little dab into trying to major in science. I mean, in chemistry, but after a few classes, I realized not for me. But yeah, Tupe, really enjoyed his classes. We have Ruth Sandrowski. I think being involved in the play that we eventually took to ASCC, was it the East Side Story? Yeah, that's one
Yes.
of the
I
yeah,
Lena said it was, yes.
yeah. And I played the Mexican gang leader. No speaking role. It's okay.
You had no speaking role.
No speaking role. Sorry, it's getting dark and yeah.
That's okay.
So I wanted to ask for our for the students that are currently at Leone High School right now, what advice would you give them? You know, those who are currently there who are going to graduate and go on the path that of undecided. What advice would you give them?
Oh, um, I would tell them to look at what they're really interested in. Uh, find that early, um, and stick with it. And also to let them know that so long as they're moving forwards, they're learning. So long as they're working, that will eventually take you to a path where you know that's going to lead to good things. Um, I'm the type where I don't think I had a plan per se, but if I look at it in retrospect, maybe if I had a plan, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. I'm just fortunate to just follow some of the interests that I had and ran into people that gave me some good advice, um, good experiences, um, various relationships I've had. So it's yeah, that's what I would say. Go with a passion, work hard, and study hard, and just know that life is a journey. Don't take it too serious, and have fun. Have fun.
That's a good advice. And I
Yes.
hope those of you who are out there and those who are currently in high school right now, these are good advice for you to take, because it's one of those
Yeah.
things that we don't know until we actually, see from those who have already gone through that. Um,
Yeah.
if you could
One
go,
more thing.
go ahead, go
One
ahead.
more thing. I used to be a teacher. I taught math in high school, and one of the things I told
Oh wow.
my
Oh wow.
students was, yes, I was a math teacher. Um, education is like an eagle soaring. Sometimes it doesn't know where it's going, but so long as it's in a, as long as you're flying, you're on a continuous path, you'll get somewhere.
That is true. And as long as you build up
Great
to those
words of wisdom.
steps, you'll never fall on your face as you're flying.
Yeah, just keep soaring,
Yes.
keep flying.
Yes.
Lawrence, you wanted to say something? Yes, go ahead, Lena.
Oh, well, that is quite a challenge, and I think some of my friends and I have had this conversation before. If we look at the curriculum that we all came through, we're looking at textbooks you read, you memorize, and then you regurgitate on a test paper, and that's how they test what we call smarts or intelligence. But we see that with advancements of technology, you can access information with artificial intelligence off the tip of your hands. So I think schools need to focus more on early on relationships, how to deal with one another, because what we see now, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you working in the workforce, some of the biggest challenges that we have are personality issues, not knowing how to deal with one another. So I think it's important to foster that that part very early on. No homework, play, and then when we are get to the point where we're older enough to be responsible, to even study, I think is education should focus on how to access information and how to use that information to solve problems, things like that. So of course, I think we need to revamp a lot of our education system. If you look at other parts of the world with really high levels of education, like South Korea, even some of our European countries like Sweden, their education system are really focused on that. Japan, they really don't assign any work until the child is probably in third or fourth grade. So yeah, that's how I would do it.
Do you think that with the change like that towards the education system, you would have to find a link between the change and the culture as well, right? Because I feel like the culture plays a huge role into the mentorship of a student or a child.
Yeah, hey Lawrence, thank you for bringing that up. That's you hit the nail on
Yeah.
yeah, the hammer. What's the word? Yeah, right there. That's
Yeah.
exactly. And I think that's where this relationship fostering part also we need to really understand where we come from, our culture,
Uh-huh.
and although the whole world is becoming so small with our ability to contact each other, long distances like what we're doing right now, it is becoming a small world. Different cultures are intermingling, but still knowing where you're from, your Samoan, your language, things like that is quite important and should not be taken lightly, and it should not be taken out of the school systems.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Well,
Thanks for
Yeah.
answering that question. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's our individuality, it's our uniqueness. Us from Samoa, you go off to the U.S., you meet somebody from as far as Kenya, and then you guys discuss their experience versus yours. Now, if we don't have that to share, then what do we share? What do we share with our people that we meet?
yeah,
But our culture and our language.
yeah.
And it's hard because
That
when
is
you're
awesome.
like, I raised my kids. My kids haven't been raised in Samoa, so it's really hard, right? So I try to keep like what he was talking about, the culture within our family, because otherwise you have these kids who are raised, Samoan kids raised in America, but they're not going off of sharing culture. They're sharing with their own tradition within their own family, and then they miss out on the culture part. And so I think that's very important that we still keep the culture instilled in our family and in traditions. So um,
Totally
I'm gonna
agree.
go. I'm gonna go back into high school. You know, asking a question about when you're in high school. Um, were there some memorable parts of those 4 years in which you would never forget, like dances, proms, you know, pep rallies?
Pep rallies for sure. Um, One that sticks out. I can't remember who were all, in there, just being part of the football team, coming in the front, and then you're getting introduced, and the whole school is cheering for you. That is something that is going to be, ingrained in my brain, tattooed in there. It's permanent. Yeah, it's something very
Yeah.
unique, and we really enjoyed that. But one specific pep rally was our class. Our class. We're number one, man. I'm telling you. But we had a band. I think
Yes.
Melvin Swami, Lambden. Who
Elvin,
else was there? We had a
Elvin
bass
Mamea.
guitar. Alvin Mamea. Who
Was it
else? But
Steve Filianga a part of it too?
Steve. I think he was the drummer. I can't remember. Yeah. But the team, we had our cheer, our class cheers, and the band was playing. It was just memorable.
Hmm.
Class dances, of course, the dances at night, the proms and senior ball. Oh my gosh, yeah, those were very
Yeah.
exciting. I never had the chance to get a limousine to bring my date to class, but I mean to the dance. But I can't remember who it was, but I remember somebody bringing their date on a limousine, and I'm like, oh my gosh, got behind us. So
I
yeah,
know it
so
wasn't me
yeah,
or anyone I know. They were way ahead
it's
of their
like
time.
yeah, see you there.
That was pretty funny though, but that's an experience to remember. If you could go back one day to Leone High School, what would it be and why? To change or not change?
One day to change. Whew. Looking back to the journey, I don't think I'd change anything. Um, but if I go back to a day that I would, like to relive, so to speak, it's funny because it's in football. My sophomore year, I I banged up my knee, and so they had to put me in a cast. And I remember walking into the hallway. It was a very embarrassing moment for me. I hadn't come to school for a while. I was really looking forward to the season because I was like, I think I can start. I was doing well until I got hurt. I forgot who fell on my knee, but anyways, coming to school and then sitting. I wasn't at a triangle. If you come to the office, make a left. There's a little bench area there. I think next to A B building. I think it was. Anyways, I sitting down, and then a whole bunch of people came with markers and pens to to say hi and to cheer me on because I was feeling really down. Just writing on the cast that I had, and I was like, oh wow, that was pretty cool. So the love and support that our class and our entire school showed was pretty special to me. Yeah, I think that would be it.
That is pretty cool. Um, if you could summarize your journey in one word,
That
what
is
would it
cool.
be and why?
Oh, one word. Oh God. I had a really low score in English in SAT. Just my vocab is not there. But
Or a sentence?
adventurous or mysterious.
Adventure.
Um, yeah,
Mysterious. Uh-huh.
yeah. My journey um, has not been a straight line, back and forth. Um, it makes me think back to Aerosmith and when he said, life is a journey, not a destination. I think that's been my life so far, and still going, still going.
So you could tell these
So much.
students, these kids that are still in high school or in college, it's okay if you're not going on that straight path. Just keep on going.
Yes, momentum. What is Einstein's thing? When you ride a bike, in order for you to keep your balance, you got to keep moving. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah,
So keep moving to
that's
maintain
true.
balance.
That's true. Keep
What are
moving
your
to
hopes?
maintain balance.
Go ahead. What are your hopes for Leone High School of 1995 in the years ahead?
Say again.
What are your hopes for Leone High School class of 1995 in the years ahead?
Oh, sorry about the dogs.
Okay.
You know what you guys did here. I'm not sure if any other schools have done this, but fellowship. Um, I know when I was in high school, I was so shy to talk to anybody, get to know people. But just doing things like this, get to know each other a little bit more, and share our stories, and years to come, yeah, do a lot more reunions um, and just share the stories because everyone has their own unique journey. Not everyone has the same journey, and and it's still going, and it's still going. Yeah.
Is there anything in your life that you wish you would know or want to know, or you feel like people don't know about John that needs to know about?
uh, that I'm actually very shy. Um, 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 I'm very passionate. Um, I just love being Samoan and people from Samoa. Um, and my thing is, I always want to try to see if I can do something that I wake up in the morning and tell myself I'm going to smile and be the reason why somebody else smiles. So I try to do that. Yeah.
And let me just add, these are some of the best qualities to have that you just mentioned. Good on you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, John, I really do appreciate you decided to come on here because Steve Filianga, if you're listening, I'm still trying to answer your phone because I'm still trying to get a hold of you. Um, and so I hope that what everybody's seeing that you're on here. Moeliko is coming on next Saturday, this coming Saturday.
Oh,
That
the lights
everybody
back on.
else, that everyone else will decide to join and follow suit because you know it's not even just for us. It's also for those who are also still in high school or in college who are wondering about their life. They see that we've also walked that path too, and that we can help them and these advice that we can give. So as we're getting close to the final hour, is there a final message you'd like to leave for your classmates the Leone High School community or anyone listening to this podcast?
Final message. Just want to say what's up to everyone. I hope to catch you guys, in one of our reunions or even on here. It'll be great to hear about your journey, and that's one of the reasons why I really agreed to come here. I really, like what you guys are doing. To just share what we've been through. A lot of us we come from the same roots here in American Samoa, graduated together, but then we all parted, and yeah, just looking forward to that. Um, Come on the podcast and share your story. That's
Yeah.
what I like to say. Yeah.
Thank you so much, John.
Yeah.
Lawrence, is there anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I can't say that I know how trying it may be you and the many walls you must try to overcome. But as an outsider looking in, I just want you to know that my family, we all fully support you. And I just wanted to share a few words of encouragement. Uh, Proverbs 12:25 states, "Anxious care in the heart of a man is what will cause it to bow down, but the good word is what makes it rejoice." So, always remember good words can bring gladness to the face of anxiety. So, Dr. John Tufa,
Amen.
Famalofa Ftai, and a proverb for you is So Lefau Lefau. Unity is our strength. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so
And
much, John. Thank you,
yeah,
Dr.
that's
John
what you guys
Tufa.
did. Thank you so much. And shout out to everyone that's watching, and can't wait to see your part.
All right, you guys have a good night. John, you and your family take care. We love you all.
Thank you,
And
John. John, alofa kedaku.
Take care.
all
Yeah,
right,
lo
good night,
fui.
everyone.
Bye, say fuck.
Bye.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, alofa. Well, thoughts?
Thank you so much, everyone. That was John Tufa. We love you guys, and we
Yeah.
love you all that was
Thank
joining
you
in
guys so
for
much.
from all over. And
Yes.
don't forget, this Saturday we have Weliko that's going to be on here. So any questions, let us know. Have a good night, and love you all. And God bless.
God bless.